your Norcast weather update. Brought to you by East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, offering the best roof warranty in the business. Our warranty covers 50 years of materials, 25 years of workmanship, and leak-free guarantee. Call 609-646-1444.
All right, good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday to you. Let's cut the chit-chat and get right down to brass tacks here because we have a lot of stuff to go over, and I think it's going to fill all 20 minutes that we usually allocate for this broadcast. I want everybody on the same page, but I don't want anybody freaking out or scared. That's not how we go through these situations, okay? I know first and foremost, the automatic thought in your mind is, all right, they're talking tornadoes. Let me tell you, the chance is very, very small. This is nothing like what happened in Salem and Gloucester and Camden County back over the fall. Okay, so get that out of your mind right now. That was a 5 times greater chance of tornadic activity. We had a 10% issued. Right now, it's a 2% chance, but I don't want you to just poo-poo that because we have had tornadoes. We've had confirmed tornadoes and warnings under a 2% chance. Now, that is going to come down directly to how much sunshine we see in the afternoon. The more cloud cover we see, the better, all right? That is going to, any kind of substantial cloud cover is going to benefit us in a good way. If we break out into partly to mostly sunny skies for even a couple hours, that just adds fuel to the fire, and the sun is able to cook the atmosphere. It beats down on the ground, and then you get more convection and you get more lift, okay? Now, tornadoes are not impossible without the sun. We've seen that many times across the deep south, but it's more difficult to get. The sun certainly aids in that. That's the first part of this threat. The second part is completely independent of whatever the sky conditions are because it's relying on the energy from the low-level jet stream that's about 5,000 feet above our heads. That is going to be running at 80 to 90 miles an hour, and if the rain is heavy enough, that could pull down a portion of the energy, like 60 to 70%, okay? So we will get into those details. I have everything that you need to know, so if you have time to stick around for 10 or 15 minutes, we will walk you through it all, I promise, okay? So every bit of info that you could possibly think of is going to be talked about here. Today is the 31st of March. I cannot believe that, our last day of the month, and March is going out like a lion. Came in like a lamb with some warm temperatures. We're going to be going from warm temperatures this afternoon, around 70, to, stormy weather. Today is National Farm Workers Day. It's Transgender Day of Visibility. It's Transfer Day, National Tater Day, National Prom Day, Cesar Chavez Day, National Crayon Day, National Clams on the Half Shell Day. Never had a clam. Actually, no. I've never had a clam. I've had an oyster before. National Bunsen Burner Day. Throw me back to my high school science classes. It's Manatee Appreciation Day. It's Eiffel Tower Day. And it is World Backup Day. Some of you can't drive forward, let alone back up. Let's talk about our weather notes. Temperatures are on the rise. I think we surged to around 70 this afternoon. I should say surge, not sir. It's going to be toasty out there. Away from the coast, if you're at the beaches, I think you're in the upper 50s today. With those strong winds coming in and out of the south already, we're seeing some sustained gusts over 25 or 30 miles an hour. There's a price tag that comes with the warmth as we are looking at some stronger thunderstorms possible. Our severe potential is on the increase. No severe weather out there right now. This is a live look at our in at Sugar Hill camera. You can see the rivers moving. You can also see that the clouds are moving at a good pace. I don't know why it's frozen right now, but when it is moving, you have the lower level of clouds moving in one direction, and then above that, you have the clouds moving in a different direction. So that tells me that there is already shear available for the storms to tap into a little later on, and we'll explain what that is in just a moment. 60 degrees right now. Well, 59. You may as well be at 60. A far cry from where we were over the past few mornings in the teens and 20s, so it is nice to wake up to a nice spring feel, right? Dew points are at 56. Relative humidity is at 90%. I mean, we're always at the highest relative humidity in the morning, but this is what is interesting to me. Dew points are in the upper 50s, And as we get into the afternoon, I think we could get them into the 60s because we have that south to southwest wind, and more moisture means more fuel for these thunderstorms. There are many things that need to come together for severe weather. Severe weather is not guaranteed. The whole point of forecasting is to get you prepared for the maximum potential. Obviously, I hope the whole thing busts and nothing happens, but I do believe there will be some stronger thunderstorms that are going to be popping up through the afternoon and evening hours. 61 right now in Philadelphia, 59 Atlantic City, 63 in Richmond, 67 in Charleston. And the sheer difference in temperatures, 62 in Cleveland, 39 in Chicago, that right there tells you how potent this cold front is. And all the thunderstorm activity has been out ahead of that front. 39 in Chicago, 62 in Cleveland. You see the cold air that's going to be moving in behind this front. There's a big temperature difference right in our viewing area, believe it or not. The warmth hasn't really moved in to the northern suburbs of Philadelphia. Warminster is still at 43, 44 in Doylestown, but you go 30, 35 miles down to the south of you in Glassboro, and you're coming in at 60. Same thing in Hamilton, 63 in Salem, 61 in Vineland. A little cooler at the beaches. Cape May Courthouse is about 5 miles west of Stone Harbor. 58 there, but 48 in Stone Harbor, 48 in Atlantic City. And this is going to be the case all day because you are going to have that oceanic influence. That helps stave away the severe weather potential by you, by the way. I know that I have a lot of shore folks on live with me right now, and I think your chance of severe weather is far less than, say, interior South Jersey, far less than, say, the Philadelphia burbs, because you guys will be warming up in and around Philadelphia as well as that warmer air mass is realized, okay? So if you're in Asbury Park, down to Barnegat, down to Cape May, you still have a chance of strong thunderstorms, but typically by the time they get to you, they kind of fizzle out. That is why the greatest potential for tornadic activity is going to be to the west of your area. I don't see that stuff holding for the coast. We got some reds on the map already. 30-mile-an-hour winds in Tuckerton, 28 in Atlantic City, 25 in Hamilton, 26 in Dover. These are instantaneous speeds. We are seeing gusts to over 30 miles an hour. Now, the good thing is this isn't a cold wind. It is a warm wind because of that southerly component. And these winds are not associated with any kind of thunderstorm activity. It is purely because of the pressure gradient setting up. Now, if that is happening at the surface, you can only imagine what's going on above our heads, and that is why I am concerned about the damaging wind potential. I think that outweighs the potential for tornadic activity by 5 times, okay? So through the day, we are going to continue to watch these winds coming out of the south. Gusts 35, 40 miles an hour. This is 5 o'clock. Now, this is taking into consideration there could be some heavier rain and some thunderstorms coming through at that point, but you get the idea. Regardless of any thunderstorms, it is still going to be a very breezy day. And for some of you, it's just going to be downright windy. So over the next few hours, we continue to climb. For those of you who have not gotten to around 60, you will see your numbers bump up. We've got a green light across the board on your travel, the Parkway, the Expressway, Route 55. A couple light showers out to the west. This is what I want to see. I don't know if it's going to be sustainable through the morning and if this is even reaching the ground here, but we want a round of showers in the morning because that would stabilize things to a point. The more clouds we see, the better, because that could thwart the maximum potential this afternoon. I think this rough weather comes our way in 2 different rounds. One between, say, 3 and 5 o'clock, and then the next one later on tonight. Now, if we can get the clouds, that first round could be thwarted, okay? But that's not going to stop the low-level jet. That is where we have some issues currently with it running at 80 to 90 miles an hour. This area of disturbed weather goes from western Pennsylvania down into the Carolinas, down into Georgia and the panhandle of Florida, where they currently have a tornado watch in effect. We had a tornado warning in effect for portions of western Florida earlier on. That has since expired. Right now we have that watch in effect for southern Georgia and the central portion of the Florida Panhandle with severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect. This is early in the day. I expect this to change and evolve through the course of the afternoon with the daytime heating. This has definitely evolved. Yesterday when we spoke 24 hours ago, the yellow area was back west of Philadelphia, down into Baltimore and Washington. Storm Prediction Center has moved the entire state of New Jersey in that yellow zone, and this means that scattered severe thunderstorms are possible. We're level 2 out of 5. Is this a tremendous concern where you need to be running around and making plans to stay in the bunker for the next day? No. But there could be some scattered strong thunderstorms that have the potential to bring gusts over 50 or 60 miles an hour our way and an isolated tornado or two. That does not mean that you are going to see a tornado. This is a very small probability, but it's non-zero. It is on the table. It just means that somewhere in this green shaded area, a tornado could be seen. Unfortunately, that continues into our viewing area. Southeast Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Delaware, Bucks, Berks, Montgomery, Philadelphia, down into South Jersey, Salem, Cumberland, Western Atlantic, Camden, Gloucester, Western Burlington County. But again, at the shore, you have a more stable environment, so you might end up with heavy rain, but I think that tornado chance is likely to the west. I'm not anticipating talking about tornadoes later on, but it's something that we have to acknowledge. It's something that we have to tell you, hey, this is on the table. We look for spin in the atmosphere, okay? This is a model that's going to show us the helicity. And the brighter the yellow color is, the more spin there is in the atmosphere. So you have that over central Pennsylvania, mostly west of Philadelphia. This is with that first round coming through. This is 3, 4, 5 o'clock. You see out towards Harrisburg, Lancaster, down into Washington, Frederick, Baltimore. Those brighter shades of yellow. If there is going to be a tornado threat, that's where I think it is early. Now, that continues to push over into South Jersey at some point, but this is for the second round. I think at that point we are probably stable enough where we are not really looking at tornadic activity. Our chance, I believe, comes in mid to late afternoon. The strong wind threat is with us both in the afternoon and the evening. So how do tornadoes happen? I know that's a popular question out there. First, we got to look at the wind profile, okay? On a day like today, you have wind at different layers of the atmosphere going in different directions. So at the surface, it might be moving this way, and then 5,000 feet and beyond, it could be moving this way. That change in wind direction with height is called wind shear. Now that change creates horizontal rotation. So you could get these pockets of air to be spinning about. Okay, it's horizontal. That's not a tornado, right? Well, there's another factor here. It's called lift. That happens when we have more clear skies. That happens oftentimes along frontal systems without clear skies as well. But the greater opportunity comes when the sun is beating down on the ground. The ground doesn't hold a lot of energy. It just throws it back up into the atmosphere. As that air rises, that's called lift. So it can physically take that horizontal rotation and then flip it on its side, lifting it to attach to the base of a thunderstorm. And the thunderstorm becomes mesocyclonic and it starts to spin. So that's how that forms, for anybody that was ever curious about that. If there is a tornado warning, you want to get to the lowest level of your house. And I'm only talking about this because of that outside chance. I'm not saying that you will have to practice this today, but I want to give a refresher because it's been a while since we've talked about severe weather in our area. This will be the first legitimate threat, I believe, of the season, and it could be a telltale sign of things to come for the rest of the spring and summer. So lowest level of your house, so a crawl space, a basement. I understand that there are houses that don't have crawl spaces or basements. I don't have a basement. So you want to get into an interior room of your house without any kind of windows. You don't want to be around a window because if there is a tornado or strong winds that could take debris, it could go right through your window. All right, so you want to be in an interior room away from windows, maybe like a bathroom. Structurally speaking, the interior-most section of the house is going to be the strongest as well. All right, so again, I think that is a very small chance. We are not running around telling you you're going to get a tornado. No, I don't think that's going to be the case, but the potential is on the table. As far as I'm concerned, we have a 5 times greater risk of damaging winds. 10% chance in this yellow shaded area. It includes the entire viewing area. Southeast Pennsylvania, Delaware, and all of New Jersey as well. We're going to go up about a mile into the atmosphere. And the reason I'm showing you this is because there's a science behind it, okay? This is 5,000 feet above our heads. Right now, we have the winds running at about, 60 to 70 miles an hour. As that pressure gradient tightens up a bit, we're going to watch these numbers come up. And let me just say this one more time. This is not at the surface. If you're looking at this and you're being freaked out, oh no, 72 miles an hour in Philadelphia, don't be, okay? This is a mile up. Now, as we go into the afternoon, you're going to notice these scattered showers starting to pop up on radar. This isn't going to bring down any of this energy. You need the yellows and the oranges to coincide at the same time the jet stream is really roaring. All right, so this is 4 o'clock. This, to me, is concerning. We have an 87 mile an hour jet stream over Winslow, but we also have yellows and oranges. So what I've done here is overlaid the potential future radar on top of the map showing you the low-level jet stream winds. Why? Because I think it's easier to explain what's going to go on here. So generally speaking, 60 to 70% of this number can be transported down to the surface, okay? So you see where the oranges and yellows and reds are, right? That just shows you that the storm is going to be higher up into the atmosphere, and that rain is going to be falling at a heavy pace and coming right through that low-level jet. So in order for this energy to come down towards the surface, it needs a mechanism to get there. It needs a vessel, and that vessel could be areas of very heavy rain. So if this plays out verbatim, you're looking at damaging wind gusts, isolated, I think, 50 to 60 miles an hour. So this is round number one. Round number two comes through with the cold front. And again, this is 8, 9, 10 o'clock, just coming into the western sections of our viewing area for Delaware, Bucks, Montgomery, Lancaster, Chester counties here. And you see all the oranges, reds, and yellows with the jet stream around 80 miles an hour. So I would go out on a limb and say that your greater chance of wind damage actually comes a little bit later on tonight with the passage of that front. And even in the South Jersey, 10, 11 o'clock, you still have those areas of very heavy rain possible. Now, here's the caveat and the good thing. The jet stream could be 1,000 miles an hour over our head. It doesn't get that fast. But what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter. If there's nothing to transport it down to the surface, it stays locked up there. You need heavy rain to go right through that layer of the atmosphere and bring it down to the surface. So we are hoping that we don't get the heavy rain, but I think it is going to be on the table. Let's talk about CAPE, convective available potential energy. And where you see the brighter colors, that is where severe thunderstorms are more likely. Notice west of the Parkway, basically right where we have that tornado threat, this is where most of the energy is going to be. The shore remains rather stable. I think you might get some loud thunder boomers down your way, some gusty wind, sure, but the severe potential will likely stay to the west of your area. So just keep that in mind. All right, now let's go break it down hour by hour. We showed you the upper level winds. We showed you the radar put on top of that. What about just the plain old radar that people care about if you're planning your day out? Here comes our storm system. A couple scattered showers are possible early this afternoon, and then we start getting into these areas of heavy rain. This model's speeding it up a little bit. I was thinking 3. This model wants to have the rain in here by 2 o'clock. And you see these individual cells, and that's a little concerning because they can become a little bit more, they have the ability to rotate a little bit. So this is something we will watch through the afternoon. There could be a severe thunderstorm watch issued at some point, and if it's looking like there's enough spin in the atmosphere, there may even be a tornado watch. A watch is different than a warning, and I'll post my taco thing again. Remember, a watch is like a taco watch. You got your ingredients, your guacamole, your onions, your beans, your meat on the table over here. But if there's a taco warning, that means you're putting all that stuff into a shell and you're eating it. Same thing with a tornado warning. Tornado warning means all those conditions are coming together and it's imminent in your backyard. So there is a distinct difference there. If a watch is issued, don't go freaking out. You still want to be weather aware and all that kind of stuff. But just know that's being issued because there are the ingredients that are holding together, and it's really no big concern until there is a warning, okay? This is 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We still have those areas of heavy rain. This is round number 1. Then round number 2 comes through with that front around the dinner hour, if not beyond that. And finally getting offshore, improvements seen after midnight tonight, and we will get better through the day tomorrow. So high temperature, I'm thinking about 67, sun and clouds mix. Might be a period of partly sunny skies, slowly backing down into the 60s tonight, lower 60s, upper 50s. And then overnight by tomorrow morning, lower 50s, cloudy skies, warm temperatures. Tomorrow, we take a step back. About 56 will do it for a high, and we stay with those winds, this time out of the west, 15 to 20 miles an hour. It does look like we try to warm up in the 6 to 10 day outlook. And you'll see, though, here locally, our 7-day forecast is still kind of all over the place. So we get down into the 50s, and then we rise up a little bit. All right, middle 60s, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Wednesday shows another opportunity of severe weather coming our way. It's just the pattern that we are in. Thursday down to 48 degrees. And if I were to extend this out another few days, you'll see that that topsy-turvy pattern continues. 48 up to 60, down to 48, up to 54. So if you're looking for consistency, we still don't have it. I have a couple meetings I have to do this morning. I'll be back in the Weather Center this afternoon. I will go through the comments and read anything or respond to anything that I didn't touch. As always, if you have any pressing issues, feel free to inbox me directly, okay? Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @Nor'easterNick. You can also download my app, the Norcast Weather app, available in your Apple and Android store. And next week, I launch my new website, norcast.tv. If you're interested in advertising on it, if you are interested in weather consulting, email me, nick@norcast.tv. I have some great options for local businesses with smaller budgets. Have yourselves a great day. Stay weather aware, and we will be in touch throughout the day.